Hello people of the internet and welcome back to another video. In this video I will be describing my thoughts on Doors Floor 2 more specifically. For context, this happens right after a run through Doors where I die in an unfair way, but I will have that in the video, I'm just telling you that. And this is in the middle of my many attempts at trying to beat floor 2. So it's just gonna be my thoughts on the game and what I think should be changed. I hope you enjoy, and yeah. 69, 17. Oh, that's ambush. Oh wait, this sucks. Where's the closet? No, you fucking bitch! This sucks. Oh my god, I hate this shit. How was I supposed? Oh my god! I know how to beat ambush. It's just that you have to switch between two lockers in this. Oh my god, and they were so far apart. I got out as soon as I could. As soon as I could. Oh my god, you can't fight this. Oh my god. I just want to get to the end of this. Oh, it was such a good run as well. I get really mad when I lose a run to something that I didn't have any control over. I could not have done anything differently there. Maybe gone back into the other room behind me. Maybe you could argue that. That was just awful. Okay, so if we look here, the next room after this room is the room before. No, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, this room, the 69. This room, you saw there were lockers on the sides there. I fully agree. Because in the next room that's one ambush point. I see now that maybe if I gone back, I would have had time to get into a locker. Just about. But still, this was not a thing where you're like, oh man, it was fuck. I really made a big mistake here. I shouldn't have done that. If I think back, I don't think I made a mistake. Well, I made a mistake, but I don't think it was a mistake that I could have avoided. Maybe I could have avoided if I knew if I was able to see into the future and knew that okay, there aren't the closest lockers are back there or whatever. Okay, you can say that. Oh well, you should have thought back to the previous room and thought that oh yeah, those lockers are closer. You don't think like that. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that you think like that as a human being. Nobody thinks like that. Maybe if this exact situation that happened to me just now has happened to that person, like I don't know, 5-6 times, or maybe even 10, I don't know, then they're gonna be super vigilant on where lockers are. But it's just I think that most normal people, the common person would not consider that. that would be necessary to do. And yeah, that's just my argument. I feel like this is like, oh, this is definitely the most bullshit thing I've ever experienced indoors. Absolutely, like top. No, I can't think of any other point. I mean, you could argue maybe the modifier when I was doing like massive combinations of modifiers, but I was just like, the point isn't that is that it's fair when you're playing that. Here, like I'm gonna doors is a very the hotel is very fair. Same with the rooms and the back door. The three main base previous classic whatever you call them floors were very fair. I never felt like I was cheated. Maybe in the back door when there weren't any timers, then I was like, okay, when they. But like, I also think that a part of that was that I was just not checking behind me. I was not checking good enough for them, and was wasting time on checking lockers. Um, so you could those like were ones where you can chalk it up to my skill. This one you could also chalk it up to my skill, but I still think that this is the most bullshit thing that's ever happened. And a lot of no, I think that Mines is mostly fair, but I find that some parts of it and some sequences should be more fair. And what I'm trying, what I'm, what do I mean by fair? I mean that when you're thrown into that, you should be able to figure out what you're supposed to do. The grumbles are not fair in that it's very difficult to figure out what you're supposed to do when you're just thrown into them. The first time that you get there, it's very difficult to figure out. Obviously, you could say the same thing about the figure fight in the library and in base stores. It's very difficult to know that, okay, I need to be crouching constantly because he doesn't hear. But even that, I think, is more fair than the grumbles, or even this. Okay, yeah, we're not even gonna talk about this because this is like clearly not fair. You could obviously the mines are way harder than back door or the hotel or the rooms, and that's like purposeful. Clearly, they were trying to make this harder, but I think this is a very steep, very high difficulty spike from the hotel. I feel like because like this is the official continuation of the hotel. This isn't the rooms or the back door, which are like you can call them the like side floors. They're not really the main thing of the game. This is like the big thing. You see, this is the big second part to the whole game. It's not just some little precursor or just a fun throwback thing that's very long and kind of challenging, as like rooms and backdoor are. This is the official continuation, and I think that this is a very they should really consider making in the balance in this to make it easier. Not because I think, and this isn't. I honestly don't think the difficulty is that bad for me as a player, but I think that for most people this is a very high difficulty jump. And now I'm like kind of bothering myself up. Oh, I'm pretty good at the game, so it's not too bad. But like I've played a lot of people that play indoors are kids, and that's obviously I don't think that's their target demographic, but it's still like a big chunk of it, and I don't think that kids can beat this. and it's not very fair. And not even that most people that have played. You also gotta think about this if because we're trying to. Obviously, there are hardcore Doors players that have played this game from the beginning and are like have like hundreds, thousands of I don't know hours so in this game and can do it and know can learn the patterns whatever. But like we're this is a very popular Roblox game, so you can't expect everyone to have very high skill levels. I think that it's fine to have high difficulty, but I think that this is a very high jump for them to do so quickly. Because the hotel, it goes from like, the hotel is like I don't know, five, 4, 5, 6 on the difficulty scale somewhere there, and then this goes like to 10 instantly. It likes almost double, just about doubles in difficulty, maybe even more. And I think that they should just make it a bit easier, just a tad. I think that they should be thinking about this like stairs, if because the way they've been talking, well, the way they seem to, and as a person that has basically only played the game and seen stuff from within the game, I haven't really engaged in, I don't know, this, if they have a Discord or Twitter or whatever. As a person that's seen this from the game, from within the game, there's a lot of like talk about how the mines and the hotel are just the beginning. So if they are just the beginning, I think that they could. I think the hotel is very good right now. Maybe they could change the figure at the 100 a little bit. I don't know. I'm a bit iffy about that one. But I'm pretty sure this one has like okay, that was just the beginning or something like that as a description, which means that they're probably gonna be continuing on with Doors for a while. I don't think that it's gonna stop at like 300 at floor 3. They're probably going to like, I don't know, at least floor 5 or 6 or 10. But that sounds pretty absurd with how long it takes. I mean, honestly, they have had a very good development cycle. The game came out in like what, 2022, and in those 2 years they've updated the game to a very high standard. They've released 2 subfloors and now they've released the second floor. I think that like looking at this game as if it's gonna have 5, I mean 10 is pretty high, but maybe that this game is gonna have like at least 5 floors by the end of its development, or they could just keep adding floors, but that doesn't seem like a thing they would do. So yeah, like 5 floors by the end of its life cycle. I don't know. I think that it would be fair to tone down the difficulty just a smidge, because if they're gonna just keep stepping up the difficulty for each floor, each consecutive floor, then if it's such a high jump from 1 to 2 already, then I think it's, I don't know how hard the final floors are gonna be, or if they're even gonna make them that hard, because they may just like, this may be the peak, or floor 3 may have been, they may reach the peak of difficulty at floor 3, like that it's difficult to a degree where you can't really, you need to nerf or like make it a bit easier for the future. So yeah, I mean, That's just my thoughts on this. Um, I have opinions, if you couldn't tell, and I really look. I'm not like this is just coming from a place of like I want this game to be as good as it can be, and I think that they really should consider like how they're gonna do the difficulty spikes. Maybe they have, and maybe they decided that they do want to make a very hard game, but I think that they should reconsider in that case. Just like try to look ahead. As I said, I don't know. I'm just a person that has only played that's only experienced the game, as in only experienced the game, not really checking what they say on their socials or whatever. So yeah. The thing is, I'm not a critic. I'm not a very critical person, as in I'm not very. I haven't done a lot of like really deep thoughts about why I like certain things, or what I dislike about certain things, or why I dislike certain things. I haven't done much thought about that. Into that, I mean. But I have. But with this game, I do have thoughts about it. I have things that I think should be changed and could be changed. But I don't want to sound like too much of a negative person, because I think that this is great. I think that I do find, now that I've kind of learned the floor a bit more, I find it pretty enjoyable. But I feel like it's less enjoyable than the hotel. And this isn't just a thing like people hate new stuff or we just love the hotel. I really think that there are issues with the floor too that need to be addressed. Oh my god, that's Imposter Among Us with top hat. That's so cool. Oh sorry, I got distracted. Like mainly the length of the floor. No, okay, that's not me. But it's very long. The floor takes a lot of time. Individual rooms take way longer. Obviously, I think that was part of their design intention to make this harder, but I don't think that longer rooms make it harder. It just makes it take more time, make it a bit more annoying to get through. Because like, I'm gonna beat this eventually. I don't mind trying it a lot of times, but it just demotivates me from trying it again when attempts take forever. When each attempt takes an hour. I did do A1000, as you can see, and that took forever, and I did actually do it again. But it also has, well, I did feel a lot of trial and error while I was learning to do A1000 in the rooms as a whole. I feel like that floor as a whole, the rooms are way easier than the entirety of the rooms is way easier than the entirety of the floor 2. If we're counting like how many times, I'm pretty sure that I have, maybe by the end I'll have like at least twice as many individual attempts at floor 2 than I had with the rooms. That's because the rooms are easier than the hotel. It's just 3 entities and then that one entity combination that I hate. You know, A90 and A60, that when they start to combine and shit, and you have to time your locker entrances, because sometimes, whatever, you get the point. It's while it takes a lot of time, while A1000 took a lot of time, it takes like 2 hours to get to the end. It's each room takes like, I don't know, half a second or something. Here it's 100 rooms, but they take like a minute or two. Obviously that's a bit of that comes from the fact that I'm searching through all the lockers. That's because I feel like I need to do that. It feels like I need to. This floor is way harder, so you need to have. I at least feel like I need to have a at least a flashlight. At least a flashlight. But I do prove. But it is way. The floor's difficulty necessitates you having items. Obviously, I think that this last run that I did, that I show in this video, I had a lot of stuff and I didn't need more. So, and that's also kind of, if you notice, after the nest, I don't spend. While I do check some lockers, I don't spend as much time. I try to I'm just trying to go forward and move through this quickly, you know. Because at that point I am set. There's not, because the big preparation is the first 50 rooms before you come to, or well, 40 I guess, because we want to see the first 40 rooms before you come to the nest, because I feel like you need to have lights and stuff for the nest. That's where, and you know, items and shit and health in case you get hit and survive by the grumble. And in the rooms, the only thing you need to do is move forward. There are no, if you're carrying a flashlight, then you get batteries sometimes, but that's not really a thing you're looking for. You kind of see them on the way, and if there aren't any, then you just use your gamma flashlight, or if you don't even have a flashlight, then you just use the gamma flashlight, and then there are no resources to find, and there's nothing for you there other than lockers and your own skill. There's nothing to help you in the rooms. You can't use crucifixes. There's just the darkness, which you can easily combat with the gummy flashlight, which costs nothing. So there's no need to take your time and check the rooms, every room for stuff. I don't know. Honestly, when me and my buddy were starting out in this. The first few runs that we did, we were just looking. We played a couple of runs and we both were okay, but this floor has to be 50 or 70 rooms, and it wasn't that we thought oh, they were lazy in this hand. No, we really thought it takes so long to get through each room, so they can't make the floor 100 rooms long, because it would just drag on forever at that point. And when I did find out that was the case, I don't know, I honestly feel like they should shrink the amount of rooms for this floor down a bit, because I think it would benefit a lot. And while you may say, oh, but that would make the encounters way too close together, so what? I think that the thing about the encounters is that they take, I don't know, I think that the encounters take a very long time in and of themselves. The figure, they're okay, the figure or encounters take you do them and you're done. It didn't take that long. But the seek chase is 10 rooms, and you run and you run and you run, and then you finally get, and then you have the minecart, which also takes a very long time to do, and then you have, right after that, you have the grumble, which takes, if you're, sure, at this point I've gotten kind of good at the game, or well, not kind of good, I've gotten familiarized myself a bit with the way the grumbles work and all that, but it still is very much so, it does still take a lot of time, unlike any of the encounters previously in the game previous. I feel like, yeah, I do really feel like they should consider either shortening or like reducing the amount of rooms that there is in the floor, as in going to like I feel like 75 would be fine. Or if they don't want to reduce it because it's nice to have 100 rooms per floor, then maybe they should just shorten the length of a room. Because a big thing about this is also that I feel like doors, the floor 2 has become a big commitment. A thing I really liked about doors floor 1 was that you could just hop on and play a game or two if you felt like it. It didn't feel like a massive commitment. Right now I'm like, every time I think about trying to beat floor 2, I'm like, oh, but do I want to? Do I have it in me to put an hour or two into this right now? Floor 1 was a lot like, I mean, obviously that was the same for rooms, but it was way easier. Right now I'm like in a place where it's like I keep dying. I'm making progress, but I keep dying, and I don't know if I want to put myself through that. Not that I become heartbroken because I lose a run indoors. Like it does still do a little bit on my mental. I'm not the most mentally stable person in the world. Not that I have depression or anything. I'm just not very. I don't take a lot of beating. My mind doesn't take a lot of beating, so to say. Okay, that's pretty weird thing to say, but like my emotional stability and myself as a person can't take too much of a beating, as in I can't like do shit forever and keep failing without anything happening to my optimism or whatever. I need to take like breaks or whatever and stuff. And maybe this is just me. Maybe at this point I feel like I'm becoming way more subjective. But I also think that that's a lot of critique comes from a subjective place. No human being can be objective, because we aren't objective. We are very selfish and we look at things from our own perspective a lot of the time. Even the best people in the world, I feel, think about themselves a lot, or like think about something from within themselves and their own perspective. So that's why, well, whatever. I mean, this was these are just my thoughts. Obviously, you can disagree, and I would honestly love to see what other people think about this. I haven't watched any videos on floor 2 yet, mainly because I don't want to get spoiled, because I don't actually know exactly the ending of this floor, so I just want to beat it and then see what other people have to say. But I'm definitely going to be watching other videos on this. So yeah, okay, I think I've said everything I want to say now. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this game. Oh damn it! I never noticed that. Looks like a black hole, but that's probably just clouds or something. That's it. Some cyclone, typhoon. But yeah, thank you for watching this. I hope you found something interesting in my thoughts on this game, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. So yeah, bye bye.